What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another ProGuides video. I'm Kangas, and today we're talking about some of the changes that are coming in patch 11.6. Everyone's sick of all the healing in League of Legends, and this time around it's Riot's second wave of systematic changes to items and runes. But before we jump in, just a quick disclaimer, anything mentioned in this video is of course subject to change. Riot has made it clear that they still plan to adjust the healing in League, but we don't know if these changes will actually come out on patch 11.6. So let's not waste any more time, and let's jump into these adjustments. The first time Riot tried to nerf healing this season, they targeted the most powerful healing items and runes. Immortal Shield Bow, Ravenous Hydra, Ravenous Hunter, you get the picture. And there's still a noticeable problem with healing in League right now, and almost all the top tier bruisers and melee champions rely on some form of Omnivamp or lifesteal to hit their core item spikes. Items like Gore Drinker just punish players for trying to burst down champions, making it really difficult to deal with those strong self-healers. So now that we know why Riot keeps trying to balance self-healing, let's actually talk about the changes themselves. VAMPIRIC SCEPTER will now give 8% lifesteal instead of 10%, but the gold cost will be lowered to 850. This change doesn't really hurt champions that only build one lifesteal item, but champions that buy multiple healing items will feel an overall nerf. Moving on to Immortal Shield Bow, this is the only item on the list that actually has a small buff. The lifesteal value will go down to 10% from the 12%, and the Lifeline passive's lifesteal increase is being removed. The new passive now gives you 25 to 50% scaling attack speed once you proc Lifeline. You'll also get a stronger shield, going up from the 250 to 700 health shield to the new 300 to 800 health shield. This change is meant to help out ranged champions while nerfing melee champions that build the item. Right now, the only AD carries that reliably build Shield Bow are Samira and Draven, and sometimes I see Xayah, but I don't think that the small buff is enough to change that. The extra attack speed and shield value is nice, but the increased healing from Shield Bow's passive is what really made the item great for turning teamfights around. Samira and Draven don't benefit that much from an extra attack speed burst when they're low HP, so I honestly think that this change is just a flat out nerf to the item. And moving on to the last item on our list, Blade of the Rune King is getting a slight nerf. This is one of the strongest legendary items in the game, and it's a core item that's built before a mythic in a couple of champion builds. The lifesteal will go down to 10% like the rest of the items, and the on-hit passive damage will be lowered in the late game from 150 to 120. And last but not least is Ravenous Hunter. This might be one of the most picked runes in the game, with pretty much champions in every role relying on the healing to sustain them through the game. Riot plans to nerf it yet again, putting the base Omnivamp at 0% instead of 1, and on top of that, each stack will only give you 1.5% Omnivamp instead of the current 1.7. With these nerfs, you'll only reach 7.5% Omnivamp at max stats. This is definitely an overall nerf, and I think a lot of players will notice the lack of sustain in the early game specifically. You'd be surprised how much healing you actually get from 1% Omnivamp, especially if it's added onto the other healing in your kit. So how do you guys feel about these changes? Personally, I think that Riot dug themselves into a hole with the way that they redesigned Omnivamp. Ravenous Hunter is just such a powerful rune when compared to pretty much every other option, and nerfing it into the ground will just make it feel way worse to take. Self-healing is a crucial stat for champions that don't have their own sustain, but combining that self-healing with your own damage output is where things get a little complicated. Like most things in League, healing half of your health with 2 abilities is really only fun for the person playing the champion. So let's see if these nerfs are enough to put lifesteal in line with the rest of the damage and sustain in the game. And that's everything that we got for you this time. Let us know what you're thinking down in the comments below. Are you happy to see Ravenous Hunter get nerfed over and over again? What kind of solution do you think would also work? Also, if you want to stay updated on all things League of Legends content, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss our future uploads. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and as always, best of luck on the Rift. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time.